Hi, it's Alexa Bledsoe from Challenge 2050. I'm a third-year dietetic student, and I took this class because it sounded interesting to me. I had an extension internship last summer, and my supervisor was #1 about being sustainable. We couldn't use styrofoam cups. If we went out to lunch, we had to take our own cups, so we didn't use their styrofoam cups. And when we went grocery shopping, we always had to use reusable bags. These should be common practices for most of us these days, but the truth is they're not. I took this class hoping that I could build on the sustainable practices that I had just become natural to me, and also to learn more about this problem that our world is facing. What I did not know is that we would be solving these problems. The day we were presented with this idea, I was speechless. I didn't even know what we were talking about in class half the time, and I didn't know how I would be able to come up with a solution for these things that I didn't even understand what the problem was. However, the more lectures we got and the further we moved, the more I could actually comprehend things, and by the end, we could put it all together, and we came up with a great solution. Each week, we had a guest speaker. They would enlighten us on different matters the world is facing. Each of these matters fell into one of 5 systems: food, social, economic, environmental, and health. What I didn't understand at first is that there were 5 systems. I didn't understand it. It took me a couple weeks to understand how they all work together and what their purpose was. But once I understood it, it makes sense. You have this huge world, and we're trying to come up with solutions to make the world better and to make it more sustainable. There's so many continents, so many different people, you can't have one issue to solve them all. The 5 systems show how this all works together and how we can come up with many solutions to help better the world. Just like there can't be one blanket solution, one person can't solve all the world's problems. It takes a bunch of different people and a bunch of different groups working together. We learned this during our group project. When we were trying to come up with a solution very early on, we learned that each member of our group had a different major and different strengths. We're pretty sure you guys did this on purpose. This is also where Dr. Andanaro's lectures came in the very beginning of class. They were about self-actualization and mandalas, fun picture drawing thing, and ethics. You have to know yourself before you try to help other people. This seemed really basic in the beginning of class. Ethics didn't, because ethics, who knows. But it's really true. When we were in our groups, it was hard sometimes to come up with a problem or the solution to the problem because we all had different ideas and we all had different thoughts and we all had different backgrounds. But we came together and we came up with a great one. We had numerous guest speakers during this course. Their topics were interesting and their lectures were deep, informative, and intellectual. Many of them left us with key messages, which is what I took away the most, such as a calorie isn't a calorie, and you can't have a democracy with hungry people. This is important because one of the major challenges of Challenge 2050 is the fact that we're going to have to feed 9 billion people. It's important to remember that all people need nutritious food, and that people in the developing world, they're hungry too. It's hard to move forward when right now people are struggling. Hopefully we can tackle this before we get to 2050, or we're probably going to have more problems than we already have. I now consider myself an advocate for Challenge 2050 after taking this course. I hope to use this information to inform others about the fate of our society. With about 40 people in this course, that's a very small fraction of the 9 billion that we're going to have problems with. We must be leaders for such a change. I hope to go into the field of community nutrition. This was reaffirmed after the Wedgeworth leadership presentations. One man came up to our groups, we were the health group, and we came up with a cool nutrition program, and he told us that if we really wanted to make health changes, that we needed to start with children. And that's exactly what I want to do, so that was really exciting that he hit on that for me. This course specifically encouraged me to become more sustainable, even though I kind of already started that this summer, but this course made it way more evident how sustainable we all need to be, and that it needs to be a global issue, not just a select few. Dana's lecture on water made me really fathom how little water we actually have, which is crazy, and Farm to Fork made me think about getting my food local and how much better that would be for the environment, and just me in general. Local food is always better. It's more, well, I guess it's not always better, but you would think that it's more sustainably grown and more healthy for you if it's not in a processed box anyways. And then I also notice food waste a lot more now. Hopefully we can all become more sustainable and we can continue to think big about these big issues. Bye, guys!